Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, and late this evening or early this morning, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers. I had um, a welcome visitor that came late and stayed for a little bit, so you know, I just didn't want to throw him out of the house and go, I got to do a live stream. Sorry, you can't stay, but anyway. So I greet you all with the love and the honor of the infinite creator, and I continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue to accept, receive the healings and knowledge and the wisdom of the universe. And I noticed that there were some people that were here earlier, and I'm so very sorry that I'm late, but having visitors and, it is a Saturday night and they don't come often. And anyway, so there's my apologies for that. But as far as this topic is concerned, I was considering, well, maybe I'll just, wait till tomorrow, the next day about this. Nah, they're kicking me in the shins to go ahead and bring up this topic now. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Um, and because it is something that I think that, and the creator thinks is important that we all pay attention to certain things in life, especially with all the craziness going on now. Golly, where is this going to go? Who knows? Be prepared. I had conspiracy theorist friends of mine call me up and go, "It ain't it nice that we're already prepared for a couple of weeks of shutdown? I got my extra toilet paper of you." I mean, it's been kind of humorous in a way where other people are going, "What are we going to do?" Calm down. But anyway, but in the realm of things, and one could say from a shamanistic point of view, but in so many ways, if hello, Miss Pamela, how are you? Um, Blessings to all of you all out there. But in the realm of spiritualness and of all things, what is the true secret? What really is the secret of things? And I look around and it dawned on me yesterday in a certain way, and I've spoke about this before, as other folks have. What is the most important thing? The secret to like other people, to things like forgetting your way, maybe, or manifesting or whatever. And I realized it's honor, honor, honor to the universe, honor to yourself, honor to other beings, honor to your friends, people you don't know. And it's not necessarily respect, because respect has to be earned, but you can honor them by being kind or considerate. You may have to honor them with a swift death if they're a really complete and negative, rear ender. But at the point though, that what is the secret to the universe? Well, how do we attain its mysteries? What do we do? You give honor to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth gives back. You give honor to the universe gives back. You give honor to the ancients give back. So in all the old traditions, I mean, I'm thinking about the Catholic religion as growing up this way, but of all the native cultures that I've studied and become a part of. And I think, what is the basis to this? What is the basis of a ceremony, for example? You give honor to the spirits. What? Yes, you say thank you to the spirits, to the entities, to the whatever it is, you say thank you. And if you don't believe they're there, then well, but you can still say thank you. Well, I don't know what's out there, but I'm going to say thank you to all you beautiful entities that help. And to those of you who are on the negative side, we'd like you to convert. But, you know, thank you to the universe. Give honor to the universe, which also gives honor to you, your friends, your relatives, people that have come before, spirits that you don't see. But when you say thank you give thanks without anything in return. Dante has said, and other folks, go outside and put your hands up in the universe and say thank you to the angels, to the ancients, to the universe, to the creator. Just say thank you. Doesn't have to have anything in particular in mind. Just say thank you. Now, I was like, thank you for a good day. Thank you for the concrete that I poured the other day. Everything's lined up. Thank you for allowing me to finish this little chore over here. I'm thanking you, thanking the creator for all of you who come and hang out with me. And Miss Deb's hanging over here on the side, by the way, and she's not waving, but I'm waving for her. Yeah, wave, go ahead. Okay, I'm waving for her. Anyway, I'm picking on her a little bit. Um, but anyway, but what is the secret to the universe? And what's the secret to things? Well, it's like, well, I can manifest something. Maybe not. If you don't give honor and respect in the correct ways to the universe, you may never manifest what you want. There are people, though, who bully their way into things, and some of these people are luckier than crap. I look at them and go, how in the hell did you manage that? Well, they knew this person and that one, and I don't know, but they ended up with whatever it is. Scratch your head and go, I don't know. Weird things in this universe happen. I mean, I went to school with a fella. God bless him. No names here, but this guy was copying off of me, and I was a B minus C plus student at best, and he's copying from me, and he ended up turning out to be a very high paid and qualified um, uh, um, um, uh, CPA, certified public accountant in Miami, worth millions of dollars. And I'm like, what? He was copying off of me at school. I'm like, you never know. Him, arithmetic, CPA, you know what I'm saying? But, class reunion, he's like, yep, I made it big. I sure did, Good. I mean, I'm not envious. I'm just like, holy cow, never would have thought is my point. So, I guess everybody thought, though, I was going to turn out to be a hermit and live in the woods because that's what I told him I was going to be. That was my aspirations in life. But to get ahead in life, though, you must honor your elders in different traditions and different cultures. I was talking about it last night in the video, and about, there are certain cultures that buried their loved ones in the floor. And now we would think that that's absolutely deplorable. But every time they had supper, they'd like give a little bit to grandma or grandpa in the floor. They always gave honor, where those of I'd say Western or whatever, Americanized kind of, oh my God, that's atrocious. But they give honor to the dead. The Day of the Dead, November the 1st, after Halloween kind of thing. That's, I've known Mexico. Whoa, Bob. Hey, Bob, I got some coffee for you here. We love you. We do. Thank you. But so in the Day of the Dead is to honor those that have passed. And in Japanese and Chinese and different cultures, a lot of different cultures, they honor their dead all the time in different ways. They honored those that have come before us because if we didn't have them, we wouldn't be here. Now, some of them were real, muck in the heads, but some of them were gracious and kind, fed us, nurtured us. My uncle adopted me as his son and got me out of a bad situation. God love him. I hated the lies over the years, but it was love that he took me into his home and treated me as his son, even though I was actually his nephew, And so I've looked at things over the years and thought, well, why didn't he treat me? He didn't have to. I wasn't his. Holy crap. And when you stop and think about it, and I look over families and people that I know and I go, and I've given love to folks that weren't mine. And they respect me more than they do their own parents and stuff. And if I get that, And so, but I looked at my own pops, and I he knew before he died, but in my retrospect, still his picture's hanging right back over here, and I give him respect every time. Hi, Arnie, how you doing? And I realized that by doing so, it keeps what he did, it keeps it alive in me. It keeps him alive, and it's my honor to him, and for not only what he did for me, but my sister. He adopted my sister, so we could both stay brother and sister and still stay in the family. They were going to split us up. He left Ohio and moved to Tampa on a whim, took another job so he could keep us children together. We weren't even his. So, what a bold and noble thing to do, to take on that kind of and I think my own pops, there were times I cursed him. There were times with that old man. There were times when I thought to myself, I haven't really thought about this, have I? He adopted me because he loved me, he cared for me, he gave compassion, and he honored my existence by taking care of me. And he honored his sister, who is my mother. So, she's passed now, but to the point though, what's important in all this? It's the honor of the individuals. He made a promise to his sister. He made a promise to us, not necessarily by adopting us. He made a promise, and so he kept his word, which is an honorable thing. And in this universe, what really makes it all the way through? Was Hitler an honorable man? No. What did he really make it for a lot? No. He left a lot of death and destruction. What survived all of that? The honorable men and women, the honorable people who stuck it out. And despite what happened to them or around them, they honored the dead and those who had come before them or with them. They honored them by going forward and making things better, instead of just well, it's just tough shit. It's really bad. Lost everybody. And no, they stood up and said, we're 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 gonna continue on. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna spring forward, as my last night's video was about. But we should always kind of strive to spring forward. But in the wintertime, especially in the northern hemisphere, sometimes it's good to sit down and hibernate for a little while. But now with the energies and the planet moving around and so forth and things, we need to stand up. With all of this stuff that's going around, there's some people who are freaking out, and I get it. God knows I get it. But we've got to keep it together. We've got to help our friends. We got to pull together, and we cannot panic. Panic is going to be Armageddon. If people will hold their shit together for 2 weeks, and this is going to be like the ultimate test. But if we honor each other as individuals, Pamela, you are who you are. Michelle, I don't want to change y'all, but we can find mutual things. We are, um, members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. So we already understand a certain basic thing between us. So with that, we can move forward and go, well, things are really crappy. So literally, so we're all going to be careful with the wipe them, if you know what I mean. And we're going to look for other alternatives. When I'm watching TV or listening to the news or something, I'm going to be making little paper. I'm going to be mashing paper up in case we run out. But we've got other paper that I've already pre-softened, like we used to do in the old days and on the pit toilets on the farm. That's what the Sears and Roebuck catalog was all about. You watered up the paper and you made it nice and soft and clean, and you wiped yourself. Not really the cleanest like they do, but it was better than your alternative. And so, us old timers remember those things, So what do? Crumple up paper. What? All these new kids around the block. Oh my God. Are they going to go crazy if they don't have their Shaman? If it ain't quilted, it ain't going near me. Well, then good luck. Just saying. So now you know what your grandma went through, and your great grandma, and maybe even your mom, but depends on how old. But to the point though, what makes it through? Who makes it through the adversity? Now, not necessarily all honorable people make it. But the people that pull together and work with each other, like in the concentration camps, there were people who gave some of their food even though they were sick and hungry themselves, gave it to others. But by doing so, they both made it. There are stories of this and that, and but those who gave up hope, succumbed easier. But those with brave and loyal and honorable people made it through to the other side. And what did they bring with them? They brought honor and those blessings with them when they came. So what do we do in these times? How many times have we had to show our honor to anything? So what's the secret to the universe? How do you gain the knowledge? If you stand around and go, well, you better tell me, damn it, or because I'm here and you owe me, that ain't gonna work. So what do shamans do? What do the basic natives, cultures do? They give honor to the earth. They give honor to the moon. It's not about worshiping it. It's about giving honor to creation. Just saying thank you, moon, for being there and not either going away too far or come crashing in and killing us all. But thank you for whatever's out there. Thank you. You want the secret to the universe? It's learning how to first honor yourself. But the honor covers many. I did a video on it kind of way back, but the spirits are asking me to bring this up again because we're in different more dire straits now than we were before. Hello, Millie Cow and Ian. Blessings, both. Still to you and Pamela and Michelle. Millie Cow, thank you, Hawkeye. You said something at the beginning of the video that reminded me of something I need to do. Wish me luck. I'll see you all next time. Good luck. For whatever it is, see, there are times when I don't know why I went ahead and did this video, but I was like poked in the side. So, Millie Cow, I pray for the guidance. I need to know what I need to be headed and how to heal it. Yesterday I was having sort of a rough day at the beginning, and I went outside and I put my arms in the air and I said, thank you. I could use a little extra energy if there's any hanging out. But first I said, thank you. Before I asked, I said, thank you for me being able to walk outside and stand up. Number one. Thank you for what I've done this last week or so and the projects that I'm working on. And thank you for the strength at my old age that I can still pour concrete and do a little bit of work. There are people half my age that can't do what I am doing. I don't do it really fast, but I'm still doing it. So I say thank you. Yes, I used to be able to do more, but thank you for I'm able to do it now. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the strength to maybe do a little bit more later on. So I do, but after I say thank you, I say, and if y'all got a little extra energy, toss it down my way, And so it's sort of an afterthought. It's not a demand that I make to the universe, but I first always say thank you versus, oh God, I really need help today. First, I say thank you for allowing me to be here. And then, hey, if there's anything y'all can, I could use a little lift today, Well, I demand that you manifest me a better tomorrow or a better day. Oh, stop it. And I feel in my heart that those who use magical types of things to achieve certain outcomes, sigils, things like that. There was somebody that had called in on Brian, Milky Way Messenger, I think the first night we did a call it anyway. They was talking about, and they said, and David Knoll was right about the sigil thing. He said, I did a sigil and thought it was good. And they ended up, and he had to go back, and I was like, what? And he gave me kudos over the air kind of thing. And I was like, but it's a warning, don't mess with things. People messing with things that he shouldn't be messing with. But at the same time, they don't give thanks and honor to what's already there. So how do you learn more things? You give honor to what you've already learned. You give honor, and all of a sudden, like, I've had 3 or 4 different like little revelations in my brain tonight about a little project I'm working on. And I haven't really made up my mind, but at the same time, it's just like, before I would have like tried to do it this way without thinking of another way. Well, I'm going to do it this way. Well, it's going to require a crap load of drilling. Yeah, it's going to be this and that and blah, blah, blah. Why? And I would have figured out a way how to do it when maybe that way isn't the right way to do it. I would have succeeded, but at what cost? Is it really what I need to do? Putting the floor in the trailer. But to the point, though, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I just assumed I was going to do it that way, and I wasn't going to do it any other. And I had decided I was going to figure out how to do it. But wait a minute. I really actually need to go back and reconsider something else. So, but you have to be aware enough to be able to go, wait a minute, maybe me pursuing this same thing, even though it's a good idea and so forth, might not really be the best solution. So, but I'm harebrained enough to where I would have kept on. Now I just took a step back, become that observer, and go, hang on, let's just don't go too far. Let's rethink this just a minute. So I asked my friend who was there earlier, and I just 2 cents worth. And he goes, sounds like you've already made up your mind. And I'm like, not necessarily really, but will either work, what'll work for you. And I'm like, well, okay, got you there. All right. But anyway, but to the point though, about this, you give honor to the universe and it will help you through your answers. And in my finishing up with the trailer today, outside and checking the bolts and everything and putting on the fenders, getting ready for the floor, I have this quote revelation. Maybe you should rethink what you were doing. Even though I got all this stuff for it, maybe you should rethink this. Oh, but I'm already started. No, hang on. So it's the awareness that there are other possibilities. And by saying thank you to the universe, help me figure out this thing, they said trash this idea and go back to this one. Oh, well, I actually hadn't considered that. So in things in life, I'm using the floor of the trailer as a thingy, but there's always another way. There's always another point of view in things. So if you might think that this may be the only way, when maybe you just need to hang on. Yeah, you could really make that work, but is it really the best thing? I don't know. Do I have other options? Well, have you stopped long enough? Or like for me, am I still pursuing this avenue? Or do I need to go, well, that's one way. Let's see, what other way could I do this? And what are the options with that? Well, actually, that might be better. And that actually might work easier. And that might be, well, wait a minute, but I was going to do this. So anything that comes up in life, you have options. So before you just go, well, it looks like this is how it's going to be. Is it? Well, I don't know. It seems like this is the way we're headed. But do you have to go down that road? Well, I don't know. Everybody else it seems like it's going. Yeah, and I'm not saying go against the flow, but maybe this little thingy over here in the river, I'm thinking kayaking now. You can go around this little thing, and actually the water slowed down, and it's a little narrow, but you can get through it, and it's not as rocky, and you don't go through the big bumpy and get tipped over and drown. So you say, well, I'm still going down the river, but I'm going to take this little side over here. So in life, there may be little side trails. You're still going down the path of life, but this one's still going parallel. But it takes you out of the rapids. It takes you out of danger. or hurting yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. So you have to be careful with things like that. Pamela says, Bob, I'm begging you. I just shared with literally thousands that I need this. Please. Selling your soul is not an option. Thank you, Pamela. That's so well. And Aurora, hi, back at you all. And Ian and everybody. These are the times that try men's souls. It was a famous quote, blah, 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 start of a beginning of a book or whatever. I can't remember at the moment. But how, if it tries our soul, that how do we stay together? We stay honorable. Now, as an Americans, we don't, in my humble opinion, as an American now, we don't really have a particular honor like a Japanese culture would or Native American cultures have. What is the honor of being America? Well, it's a flag, damn it. It's beer and guns, you know. Wait a minute, but is that honorable? Well, I don't know. Beer and guns and the flag. Okay. And that's both sides of the fence. Or, oh my goodness, with guns and oh, horrible. Oh, stop it, please. But to the insanity of it all, though, we have to stop and consider, but what is honorable? Well, I'm gonna buy gun sales are literally out the roof. And so what are people who are they gonna shoot and what are they gonna shoot? Each other. Why am I down here in the swamp? Ain't nobody coming down here. I know where the bramble patches are. The GBI wouldn't come get me through that shit. So, hey, if the police won't come get you through my swamp, very few other people will. So it's like I'm not worried. I'm a cantankerous old cuss. You follow me into the swamp, you better be good. And or at least brave enough, but there are too many people that are just like, well, I got what are you going to do with it? I've spent an entire day in the woods, never saw one critter. What you going to shoot? Well, at the end of the day, if I didn't have my own little stash of food and a little can of pork and beans or something, I starved. Didn't catch a fish. Didn't see not one critter to shoot at. So I'm going to go hungry that day, wake up with a growling belly and go, well, okay, all that next morning, had I not taken anything down into the swamps now, not a critter stirred, not a squirrel, very few birds, no alligators, didn't catch anything. Day 2, still on the river, I took my camping stuff. Now, if there's somebody thinks they're going in the woods, they got a gun. I've lived down in the swamp. In my backyard and people think they're gonna I'm gonna survive. Well, you better learn how to eat dirt. Gun ain't gonna help you. You know how to clean the critter when you shoot him? It was funny that somebody made a report that said all the guns are out except a couple of 22 rifles. And I was like, a 22 rifles is what you want. That's what you can, small game. Birds, crows, God forbid, you stay away from owls and birds of prey and stuff like that, like hawks and things. But, rabbits, small game. You're gonna shoot a rabbit with a 30-30? There won't be a rabbit left. So a small rifle, a 22, which that was the only thing left in the store, is your best option for survival. Anyway, but to honor, let's stick with the topic. Hey, Dave. Mm-hmm. Honor, to bring honor. So is having the biggest gun honorable in the grand scheme of things? If you're honorable to Mother Earth, you will see what's already there for us to eat, choose, medicines and things. Honor to the universe to help us through this. whatever it may be, and the honor and say thank you is to give me the courage and the strength to not go batshit cray cray while all this is going on. Keep me centered. If nothing else, if I don't ask anything else of the universe, just help me keep from going panicky. Help so I can be strong for other people, not just for my own self. It is for my own self preservation, but help me stay centered so I can help other people keep going too far off the other edge. Come on back over here. Calm down. There's other ways you can do this. Calm down. Yeah, okay. Calm down. Yes, it could get bad. Yes, there are people losing their jobs for several weeks. Yes, people don't have a clue as to what's going to go on. I've got several friends that are in different varying stages of weirdness and got to do, we're just going to have to just be patient. We just, you know, every single one of us has got their own little burden or way of having to deal with this. Now, quite frankly, to my friend's point of view, called me after 2 years going, how does it feel to already be prepared for this, Dave? And I was like, pretty good, because I've chose this lifestyle. I've chose to be here at the Hermitage. And so life is very easy and I'm not going to miss much. It's not going to affect me like it does other people. And regardless, I've lived in the swamp. I know how to deal with other things. So where other people are going to freak out, I'm just going to like, well, I don't really like this, but I guess it's an old sock in a bucket for the wiping the rear end thingy. But here we go. I got water and I got an old sock and I got soap. Okay, problem solved. It's not what I prefer, but I've got a solution where other people don't have a clue. So having at least an option, having a clue in your head that I'm going to figure this out. I'm just on the toilet paper thing, but there is so many levels to working things out. And I see this now. We're kind of isolated down here, me and Miss Deb. We're down the driveway at eighth of a mile, damn near from the road. But there are not too many people in this neighborhood, and their family on their own selves, and they're taking care of themselves. But we've pretty much got what's necessary. If 2 weeks come up, well, we might run out of milk. I bought up all the canned milk I could find yesterday for my coffee. Shame on me. But and we got sugar, we got coffee, we got stuff, we got this. Ice cream, yeah. So if the power don't go out, hey, we're covered, and so eat a little ice cream every day instead of half of a quart or a pint or whatever. It's called dishing it out a little at a time. It's called rationing. So many people don't know how to ration anything. When I'm years ago, I talked about this. What's the best way to prepare for a food shortage? Learn how to live on one meal a day and a few snacks. What? Yep. One meal a day and a little snacking. Couple of cookies or like a thing or some a par, I think, banana, piece of fruit. One meal a day. Well, I don't know. Trust me, you'll lose weight. And they're energy wise, and you clean your system out, and you'll find out what you actually need to survive. Not it has nothing to do with what you want. Although I eat what I want. I made a stew tonight. It's good. Um, you know, Miss Deb went for 3, didn't you? You went back for only 2, she says. Okay. All right. But it was yum yum, eat 'em up, good. Old little rascals, yum yum, eat 'em up. But anyway, but to the point though, there was there's corn and potatoes and meat and meat, garlic and herbs and yum, and my stomach is happy. But I don't have to have 3 meals a day. And I've learned over the years that it's just not necessary. So what happens with a food shortage? You cut your portions down so that you have more over the long run. So, well, I got to have 3 meals a day or I'm going to starve. No, you're not. If you don't have, if you only have 1 meal a day, you're going to be damn lucky and happy. Aurora says she eats 1 meal a day. Michelle, I have a terrible memory. Uh, let's see. Oh, truth to me. Hey, greetings, Ian. I, David, imagine being stuck at a highest in the middle of a city. No thanks. A high rise in a city. Oh, right. See, that's where I made choices 40 years ago. That is not what I choose. I moved out of Tampa. I moved out of that high rise situation. I had a job offer to work for a corporation down close to downtown as a draftsman working for a corporation that designed bridges, all different kinds of bridges, the railings, the bridges over the interstate, the whole thing. Anyway, I turned it down and moved up here on our farm and worked for minimum wage for back in that day was $1.25 an hour. People think they got it rough. You work for $1.25 an hour and tell me, well, I don't know, $10 a day plus room and board. Yep. At the end of the week, it's $50. What? Yep. You got to buy cigarettes and everything, but you were alive. You had food in your belly. You had a roof over your head. Wasn't fancy, but you had room, clothing. It's like sharecropping in a way. But you lived on the farm. You had fresh air. You had good meals. And so, what's more important than that? Well, I want to get along. I want to buy a car. I want to do, yeah, well, that's all really good. And didn't have enough money to, quote, get ahead. So I had to go out and get a real job and go work for the man. But I was actually happiest just working for room and board and 10, $15 a day because nobody hassled you. You go, well, we got to plow the lower 40. Here's the tractor. Go get the thing and go get her done. And you did. And there didn't anybody stand over you. You knew what you had to do. You had to gas up the tractor and hook up the harrow and go down and drive down there and harrow it up, And then what you done, you had to come back and put the tools away, put the tractor up, and and so you didn't make a lot of money, but you were happy at the end of the day, and you felt good for what you'd accomplished, and so there was pride in what you did, and you gave thanks and honor because you were allowed to do it. You were undecided, and those a lot of Southern Baptist and primitive Baptist around here, and they're all like, thank you, Jesus, and they meant it. Thank you, Jesus, for the gifts that we have received today and the gifts that we will receive for tomorrow. And pray for all our friends and those who are sick and are in need. I've gathered around the table and everybody holding hands and praying and then digging into those fresh homemade biscuits. Anyway, but I see less and less of that now. And I'm hoping in a way that for some folks, this will kind of bind folks back down rather than panicking. Let's bring folks under a wing and say, hey, maybe we should go over here and spend a little time with you. Or maybe if you can, you come over and spend a little time with us, and let's be at least gracious to one another, respectful. Well, I don't have any money. Well, hey, I got some change I've been saving. I'll give you a couple of bucks for gas if you want to come over, and I got a little extra stew. We'll set you a plate, come on over. You don't have to be, so, and I'm thinking of a friend of mine and we're going to go over and visit. But to the point though, in being kind of geared up here and trying to get projects done, I've neglected other folks. And they don't live far away, but in my own little incompetent brain here, in my own little, Hawkeye world, or Dave or whoever else is in charge at the moment. Today I had the chef come out and make us a nice stew. That it was welcome. Me, myself, and I. But anyway, though, in the grand scheme, what is the secret of the universe? The more that I learn to give honor and to keep the honor within myself to other people, to other realms, to the spirits, there are little tiny blessings that happen all the time. So, how do you get ahead? Honor yourself, honor the people. They say, nice guys finish last. At least they finish, and they finish with honor versus cheating and this and that. They do so with honor. And I would much rather be the last person in the race and cross the finish line and know that I did it with honor. I gave it my best. I tried. I was honest and did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is honor in that. And so many people are so worried about the first thing, number one, getting there first or second or third. How about just getting there? Period. Isn't that honorable? Now, some would say, isn't that the Special Olympics? Well, for many of us on this planet, it's all Special Olympics to us. you know, who said I qualified for the big game? No. I've been in Special Olympics all my life. Please help me here. But and I mean that because I'm not a pro. Thank you, Truth in Me. But so, with that said, though, we're all shamans in training, as I've said before, and I do mean that because for every little step we make, we learn a little more. We see something else in life. I mean, Miss Deb's been up here, and we're driving down the road, and I go, "There's a something, and there's a that, and oh, look, the lilies are out." She's like, "What? Where? I don't know what you," because she may not have seen the species that grow in this area. So it's like they're totally new things for her, which is like, it's old to me because I've been here for 50 some odd years.
And it's great for me.
And it's great for her because I see it through her eyes in a way that it's new. So, but it is new to her. She's never seen it. Well, what is that? Or how does that go? But to the point though, but in that I could go, well, that's just blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No, I said, no, this does this and that and blah, blah, blah. Because as the old person in the group, I'm supposed to teach people about these things. It's supposed to be my job as an elder. Those things that I know, I can take them with me. I can, but it ain't going to do anybody else any good. So the little tricks and things, I do these videos and have these little offshoots of the conversation. Hopefully a little witticism, maybe make you pee yourself a little bit once in a while, from giggling. Or maybe drooling, from, but anyway, yeah, there you go. Somebody out there's going, holy crap, there he goes again. Anyway, she's giggling over here. But there's so much dire crap going on that we gotta laugh. I mean, when I was in jail, facing 20 years, I found stuff to laugh about. Because if not, I would have been really bat crap cray cray. So, but in this step that we have, regardless of what we do, bless you too, Truth in Me. Still freezing here, eh? I hope it gets warmer. As long as you're doing your best, then nobody can ask you for more. Yep, that's it. And if you honestly did your best, there's 24 degrees. Holy crap. We got the fan on. I'm sitting in shorts. I could take my shirt off, but it would be embarrassing. My lily white skin would scare y'all, but she's over here giggling. Anyway, but yeah, times are bad and times are hard. Here's your effing Christmas card anyway. But find something to laugh at. It'll lift your spirits a little bit. But in all, again, there are many things that choices I've made in life to work from some really unscrupulous, millionaires to make them more millions. And I looked and went, why should I help them? Why should I give my talent to them? I could make money. I could make 30, 40, 50,000 a year, maybe even earn up to 100,000 a year, which for me is like a millionaire. But here's this guy pissing away $25,000 at a pop of crazy things. And, and my salary is only 20,000 a year. I'm like, what? But so, but I'm willing to sell myself to gain a little extra in life. And I realized, no, I've had to suffer, oh, holy hell, months and years of unemployment and literally getting me, I learned how to make some really good meals out of dumpster diving. And, there was a time when somebody had emptied out a freezer and I went down to the dumpster and here's all this frozen hamburger meat and stuff that was all clobbed together. It was uh, okay, Bob, we love you. But there was this big blob of frozen meat. And I went, it still froze. I picked it up, put it in the back of the truck, drove it home, broke it apart. Everything was still fine. Put it in my freezer. There was hamburger. There was cube steak. Somebody had just like, okay, that we've had in the freezer too. There was not a damn thing wrong with that food. I ate off of it for months because I was by myself, but I got it out of a dumpster. And somebody said, "You did what?" I said, "You're eating dumpster food." Oh my God. But no, it was still froze. It was still wrapped. There was nothing, no bugs on it. But you got it out of a dumpster? Yeah. What's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm full and I'm healthy. It was a really good choice, but you got it out of the trash. I know. People throw all kinds of good stuff away. So, I think this is going to be a turnaround, though, in this, though, that we need to keep our honor. The secret to the universe, if you don't show honor, you ain't going to get it. I mean, there are people who chase it around and think they got the answer. But if honor isn't involved in it, Dante's talked about it in his channel, and honor amongst people. There used to be this thing, honor amongst thieves. Actually, there was the honor amongst thieves was you were going to thieve from the other thief. But anyway, steal from the stealing. Once a thief, always a thief. Not necessarily, but the idea though that when you lose your honor, the Japanese that commit harikari, they, the other, stab yourself, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm going to be stand in honor and blah, 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 rather than live, dive off a building because I am honorable son, boom, and take a pavement dive. But, from which there is no backstroking. But the idea, though, that, in anything that we do, especially towards the spiritual realm, if we don't have honor when we die, we're going to have to work that karma out somehow. If we just expect to get somewhere, and if we're, especially if we're so, and some people, not necessarily here, but I'm sure that you all know some people who are thinking, I'm going to the fifth dimension. Well, what about the fourth? I'm going to the fifth dimension. I know what I'm talking about. You can't skip a grade. I don't care. I'm going to the fifth dimension, and I'm going to just leave y'all behind. What? With that kind of attitude, you ain't going nowhere. You haven't learned anything. But I'm going, and you haven't learned anything. I'm so spiritual. Oh, namaste. And I want to go, boom, right in the old kicker, kisser. To the moon, Alice, but there's laughter in the peanut gallery. But in the respect of that, if you're not going to be honorable in this life, personally or spiritually, what do you think you're going to get? And there are folks out there who think they deserve it. They expect it. I'm going to get it. Well, I don't care about y'all. I got my own little thing, and I'm going to get it. Me. But what about the fourth dimension? The fourth dimension. I'm going straight to the fifth. but you don't even have a clue about the third yet. You're not even paying attention to your own self and what your effect is among the people around you or who you're talking to. Do you know what you're doing? Yes, I'm going to the fifth dimension. Okie dokie. Don't fall. Hope you learn your whatever, because I'm looking at you and like, I know that I'm not going straight to the fifth dimension because I want to go to the fourth dimension to learn how to get to the fifth. And I've opened my eyes and my awareness to realize there's still stuff in this 3D dimension I really, within my 67 years, I can see and observe, but I still don't really have the feel for it yet. And then I look at other people, not to be judgmental, but I think, I know I'm not there yet, but they're yakking prattle that really doesn't make any sense. And oh my God, they don't have a clue. Holy shit. Are they going to be surprised? I'm going to the fifth man. Namaste to you too. And I really hope that you learn a lesson before you stumble and fall into the pit of gooey gunk and realize that, holy crap, you got to go back to the second dimension. You skipped a bunch of lessons. You think you're going to get there because you said namaste, you know? Anyway, well, I go around and I tell it to everybody, namaste, have a nice day. Well, tell them have a nice day. Do you really know what it means? Are you Buddhist? No, but it sounds nice. Namaste. Uh, is your heart in it? Well, I tell them have a nice day. Namaste, namaste. You have a nice day. Namaste. Don't see how it sounds like? Namaste, have a nice day. Okay. Anyway, crazy people, they're running around and projecting these things. And now when the world is starting to crumble a little bit around the edges and they're looking at reality going, I warned some of these people about those, supply line stuff and how fragile it was and the just in time, not to brag. Other people did it too, but did anybody listen? No. So now the fight's about toilet paper, but it's namaste. Now it's namaste, but you better give me. I got first dibs on the paper. Namaste if I got my toilet paper. Namaste if I got my way. Namaste if then you really aren't paying attention, are you? If you were truly namaste, you would give them your toilet paper. What? No, 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 it's the last roll. But then you don't get it, do you? If it was truly in your nature and if you were being honorable, then you wouldn't keep it for yourself and hoard it. You would share it. You would give it because an honorable person would say, well, I'll figure it out. You don't know how to figure it out because you really need this. I'm going to be honorable and and say, you know what? Here you go. I can deal with it. I've been in the woods. I've dealt with things. Go ahead. You take it. So who's more honorable? And who's the namaste? Who's what? So how do we get ahead? How the way I gained respect was by giving respect and being honorable to those around me. And I've told true stories about how they gave me a going away present or party after my 7 years at the plant, and both shifts showed up. I mean, they worked overtime so they could give me a going. I mean, there was, out of 700 people, there were 500 people that wished me well and gave me presents and cakes and pies. And I mean, these people were my family, and they gave me a going away party on my last day of work there, and they didn't have to. They wanted to because I gave them respect and honored them and they returned the favor. So when I say this works, it does. But when you step down from your own high horse and you say, well, wait a minute, boy, I really need this. Do you? But I want it. Right. But do you really need it? Well, but I got the last roll. Do you really need it that bad? Well, but if not, I'll have to use a thing and I'll have to, but what are you going to do when that roll's gone? But I don't know. Well, then here, I'll just go ahead and deal with it because this is the last roll. And even if I get the last roll, I'm going to use it up. And you're going to have, here, go ahead. Is that the honorable thing to do? I know this is all about toilet paper, but the idea is it isn't. It's about, well, maybe I can get by. Where this other people is going back crap cray cray, then you say, wait a minute, I've got control of this situation. Here, go ahead. Well, I've only had 2 meals today, and I could really use a hard boiled egg or something for breakfast. Or, oh my God, I'm dying. Here, I'd give up half of my 1 meal a day just to shut you up. Here you go, because I know I can get by. You, on the other hand, are going to pass out from exhaustion because you haven't had your 3 meals and all that. I'm good because I've learned how to skimp. I've learned how to maybe a little fasting and just small meals will get me by. And I'm still healthy and I'm still alive. Where you're a fat slob and are 50 pounds overweight. Now, I can say that because I was 50 pounds overweight, actually 75 pounds overweight from what I am now. I was 250 and I'm 170, 75 ish. So, yeah, I can talk about losing 75 pounds because I was grossly overweight myself. And yes, I went from 3.5 and 4 meals a day plus desserts and snacks to 1 meal a day with snacks and things. And I'm much healthier and better off. So don't tell me you can't do it because I know I can. Now, you may not be able to, or your friends may not be able to. But what the important thing is, though, if you give honor to yourself, which means maybe I should cut down, being honest, maybe I don't have to have this, give honor to the universe and thanks because that helps you out. So, you know what? I'm going to be honorable. And instead of having 3 meals today, I'm going to give one of my meals away to somebody else who doesn't have any meals. How about that one? How about that for sharing? Is that an honorable thing? What will that get you in the long run? You'll lose a little weight. Are you going to die from it? No, but you're going to help someone else to prosper or and to be better. And that in the universe is payback, you know, because you're giving freely without expectations. You don't do it and say, well, now there are times when I say, well, I'm going to pay this forward. But there are people who say, well, I'm paying this forward. You always have to pay forward. So if they're paying forward, expecting something in return. Otherwise, why are they paying it forward? You see what I'm saying? So, yes, you are paying it forward, but by saying it every goddamn time, it's there. That means they're fixing that they're going to collect at some future point on what they paid forward. Now, that may or may not be true in the circumstances, but that's not the reason you should pay it forward. It's for everyone in the universe, not just for you. And if you were honorable, then the energy you put into the universe will come back. It may not be as you expect, but it can come back and it will come back, especially if you stay honorable. It just, but you got to have faith. You got to, stick with respect for yourself and other people. Anyway, so I think I pretty much beat this topic up for this morning. Um, but this what of all the things that have crossed my mind, especially after the angels gave me this message to talk about honor. So, do we honor those who've come before us? Do we honor the Creator? Do we honor Mother Earth? Do we honor ourselves and our neighbors? Where's the honor? Do we have to go out and do sacrifice things and do ceremonies? No, but we can say thank you. And how many of us do? Now, I do, and I do it willingly and freely, not expecting anything in return. That's the key. You just do it because it's the right thing to do, without expectations. But there are so many people paying it forward because they expect to collect. that's not with the quite proper intent. Now, yes, I'm paying things forward, but I don't, it's the mindset. Because when I was saying, well, I'm paying forward, and then I got a message from the angels going, why do you expect to collect at some future point? I've gone through this conversation with self and with, my guardian angels, and the topic was like, so why do you expect to get it back? Uh, Maybe with interest, or what's the deal, Dave? What do you think about this? Well, you're paying it forward. Think about this. Well, yeah, well, I'm going, then just give it freely and don't say anything. What do you mean? Well, Hawkeye knows what I'm talking about, where Dave doesn't. Well, that's why sometimes I say, David, no, Hawkeye Two Feathers. What's the difference? Hawkeye Two Feathers is still me, but it's the spiritual, sure enough, attached to the earth. Where Dave is still the engineer guy that's like attached to the world and cell phones and stuff and this. There's not too much of him left in that respect, where I'm more of Hawkeye in the spiritual realm. I'm still me, but there is that other side, and then there is the more natural side. Dave was natural, but Hawkeye is more natural, just a little bit more. Blessings, bless you. Sneezing in the peanut gallery. Um, but above all the things, and people say, well, I want to get my way. Well, being disrespectful and pissing people off ain't going to get your way. But when you do things honorably, things come your way. Is that paying it forward? Is that my intent is to be the best person I can be and to be as kind to other people within reason? But what does that all boil down to? It means being honorable and respectful. The two are linked together. So maintain your honor, and you will be honorable to all of the other folks. It just, because you won't have a choice. But there are people who are dishonorable to other people and to themselves, and they expect a different outcome. And it's like, if you pissed off a guard in prison, you pissed him off. He was on your ass all the time. You think you're going to get away with something? Nah. So piss him off. Be dishonorable to him. Well, I like this guy, but he's pissed me off. That, them guards will show you who's boss. So the guards in the world, you are honorable to all of them. Even though this guy is a true capital A-hole, you still must treat him honorably. I told a story about the guy the guard that busted me in prison, and then I got back out and was in the officer's dining room, and he tried to get me busted in the officer's dining room, but the sergeant was standing behind him, and he got suspended, and I found out ultimately fired from the working as a guard because of his shady character. But it was the honor of an inmate that got him busted because I wouldn't play his game. And so I've proven it to myself, but in life, the more you are honorable, you will see the results. And people will dishonor you, and you just got to go, well, okay, I learned my another lesson there. And you can't let it drop you, dag you, or whatever. You just got to go, well, there's another lesson learned, and move on. Spring forward, not back. My friends, I love you so much. Aurora, I got a message today. On Ovid, met phrases there, and yeah, you've earned that title or a treat. I'm missing something anyway. Well, my friends, I just wanted to get on here and with a Saturday night, Sunday. Actually, it's Sunday morning here, Eastern Daylight Time in South Georgia. Be safe, everyone, please. And I absolutely do continue to pray for you all. But, the secret of the universe is honor to the universe. And you would just be surprised. And I know there are a lot of people who will argue this point with me or try to argue the point, but I guarantee you, and if you're trying to be a good, honest soul in this universe, then honor is and respect is how you're going to get there. How you're going to get to the right, seat. You're going to be in the seat beside Jesus and God. How? Because you were honorable to the elders and to the spirits and to the angels and to the earth. You're not going to get there if are dishonorable or disrespectful in any way. So whether you're Christian, Muslim, or whatever, being honorable is still the way. Period. If you're an agnostic, you don't know what's going on. Be kind to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is kind back. It that's honor. That's honor. Whether we're Americans or thespians or Plutonarians or says Uranusites, who knows? Breaking does over here. Just if you're from Uranus, well, I know a lot of people that wear their anus on their head, but you know, um, I'm trying to be silly here. Yes,
That's
but
an Aquarian moon. That's my planet.
what? Uranus?
Uh-huh.
Uranus. Well, I had the Uranus earlier was one of the reasons I was late. But you know, but the idea though that of all the things in being respectful and trying to keep a straight face when there's giggling going on over here, uh, you know, but but regardless of who we are in the universe or where we are, that it's honor among beings. You meet another being in another realm, and if they're trying to kick your ass, well, then put up your guard, put up your dukes. But but at the same time, you can still be honorable in the fight. It's like, hey, I'd rather not, but if you go, okay, my sister, anyway, my bad kung fu move there. Um, yeah, never mind. There's some really bad jokes running through my head right now, and she's over here just cracking up. But anyway, so I love you all. I do. No one will take this message for some reason. Be well. Uh, on the virus cosmic agency. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with it. But my friends, the more you dig into who's the cause and what's the this, it's gonna drain and sap your energy. Because the more you worry about what it is and worry about the this, every bit of that is an ounce of your energy that's lost in the universe. Now I know it's out there, and some of my other friends are going, you know what? I'm just not going to panic. I got enough food. I got this. I got that. Okay. And, yes, I'm going to stay healthy. Yes, I'm going to avoid large crowds for the next couple of weeks. In fact, this one person that called me today said, I just came from a music festival over the weekend, this last weekend, but I'm going to keep myself home for the next 2 weeks in case I contacted somebody else. I don't want to pass it around. So he's going to quarantine himself, which is actually, he's like, he. Most people know, that don't know that I like staying home for 2 weeks in a row. He. So, yeah. But to the point, though, there are some people who are thinking very responsibly, maybe I'll just stay home and I'll just avoid crowds because I was just in a big crowd. Maybe I'll just stay home and make sure I don't have the sniffles and go pass it to somebody else because you can. Well, now it's going to be mandatory for people, but rather than be weirded out about it, think practical. Well, I was in a large crowd the other day. Maybe I should I'll just stick close to the house for the next couple of days and see if any symptoms. I don't have any sniffles or anything. I should be okay. So, and what is that? That will prove to yourself what, maybe I don't have it. Maybe my friends don't have it. Maybe we're okay down here. You know, keep things positive. So anyway, my friends, I love you. Thank you so much, Pamela. In gratitude, yes, so much. So I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you, your friends, your family, all of your relatives and your relations, past, present, and to come, will learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the wisdom, the healings, and the gratitude and blessings from the universe. I continue to pray that each and every day, even as the chaos increases around us, that each and every one of you will continue to accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, and the wisdom of the universe. And as a law of three, I continue to pray that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relations, past and present, and to come, will learn to accept and receive and acknowledge and share the wisdom, the blessings, and the healing from the universe. So, my friends, be safe. Pamela, it's good to see you after a while. Michelle, Aurora, as always. Ian, if you're still there. Millie Cow, don't know if you're in the background. Truth in Me, if you're still there. Roar, 24 degrees. So sad it's so cold. You know, we'd like to have a little chill right now, but anyway. Jody, if you're there, blessings to you all always. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. And until next time, it's as always TTFN. Ta for now from South Georgia. Bob, and we know you're a little squirrely out there today. Uh, Ovid is a poet, wrote about 5D transformation. Yep. A lot of other things too. Remember this, those people that are going to try to convince you that you're going into the fifth, you must go through the fourth. Don't be don't be afraid to be a part of against the crowd on this. We can't skip a grade. And for those people who are going to try to convince you, oh no, we're going into fifth, really don't have a clue. We must go through the fourth dimension. We must. It's imperative. We have to learn how to deal with the fourth before we can ever understand the fifth dimension. We do not wish to pass the fourth. Tell your friends, tell your family. This idea of going straight to the fifth is hogwash. We can't do it. You can't you can't leave 5th grade and go into college. It does not work that way. You must learn certain things. So I'm a little adamant about some of this because it's all about the fifth dimension. Ain't nobody talking about the fourth. We can't skip a grade. Please understand, we are not ascending anywhere. We are making the transition and the transformation. Ascension is for people who climb ladders. And if you want to ascend, hang on to your ladder, put on a safety helmet, and climb all you want to. But if you want to make the transition into the different dimensions, then you will understand we must go through the fourth in order to even understand what the fifth dimension is. We can't skip a grade, folks. So I love you all. There's great things out there. And who's this guy? This is just 2 cents worth. But who's this guy talking about the fifth when nobody's talking about the fourth dimension? But everybody knows about the fifth dimension. I should do a video just on this. Has anybody paid any flipping attention? Well, what about the fourth dimension? I don't know. We're all going to the fifth. But what about the fourth? What was the fourth? The evil things lurk in there, and but not all things that lurk there are evil. There are evil things on this planet that lurk here. So all of 3D is bad, and come on, hang on, But this idea, though, that we're going to make the transition. We are going to transform, transmogrification. Ascend? Nah. Do you hear the ass in there? Ass end? Maybe we're going ass end into this? Think about it. But we can transform and transmigrate and make the transition into these other realms. I don't want to go ass first. Just saying, you know. I don't want to ass end anywhere except sit here on this chair. And by the way, I am getting a butt cramp, but to keep it. But I want to say ween and thank you everybody.
Ween.
And I know Miss Aurora, I got off on something there, and I mean no disrespect. I swear. But we need to remember there are fourth dimensions, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seven. We don't skip grades. And it's great to read things and understand, but we also need to remember to keep things in the proper order. We we're, let's go to the fourth and party out so we can learn how to get to the fifth together. Let's all meet in the fourth dimension. Fourth grade wasn't so bad for me, I don't guess. I can't remember much of it, but I made it to the fifth, you know, and I've had a few fifths after that, but hey, who's counting, right? But so, my friends, I love you. I do. Thank you so much. And I mean no disrespect when I talk about this fifth dimension, this ascension versus transition. I just, for a long time, I've been, and so have a few others. We've all been talking about this. Let's keep things in the proper perspective. So I got to be the grown up in the room sometimes and just remind y'all. Now, if I end up in the fifth dimension, I'm going to be surprised. But I'm expecting to go to the fourth because that's what I'm working towards. So, but this ascension to the fifth, I know I can't get there. My ladder ain't that tall. And, there ain't no extension ladder that's going to skip the fourth. Think of a big, tall high rise. You know, you're going to just go right up to the fifth without going through the fourth floor. Sorry, we don't skip floors. Anyway, I love you all. I do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Plead the fifth dimension. Thank you, Michelle. We did go into the Aquarius today. Um, they're Aquarius and all that. I understand all that, but from a transitional point of view, as beings in a natural way, it is natural for us to transcend and transition into the fourth dimension because that's what's next. That's all. It's not a big mystery. We go three, four, five, six. It goes in order, So, but there are folks who, anyway, I'm going to beat it up, and I've already done that. So, but understand, we'll get there. Yes, we will. But be proud to go to the fourth. Hey, I want to graduate the fourth so I can go into the fifth with knowledge and practice. Learn how to drive in the fifth. Anyway, learn how to drive with a fifth. Anyway, those are my old drinking days. I love you. Thank you all. So from South Georgia, I said the prayer already, but I'll repeat at least once more. I continue to pray for each and every one of you to accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, and the wisdom from the universe. And to understand about this fourth, fifth, and all these dimensions. We're going to get there. Let's be calm about it. And let's be clean and respectful. And above all, be honorable to ourselves and to all other beings. Thank you so much. Until next time. Deb's waving over here. This is Hawkeye saying adios. Have a good Sunday. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you on the flip side. TTFN from South Georgia. Ween and thank you, Bob. We had a little bit of harmony in the background there. But thank you, Bob, for the skippiness. We love you anyway. So till next time. Bye, everybody.